Hello, everyone. This is Ronnie, and I'm coming to you today with a new series. I want to try to do at least one or two a week, um, and talk about different brands. And this week, I chose Ralph Lauren, probably because it is the most misunderstood and confused brand out there, but there is a lot of potential um, with the Ralph Lauren brand. But there's an umbrella, and under that umbrella, you have a whole um, other brand names under the Ralph Lauren um, label. A lot of sub brands, or what you call it, and some are only licensed, and so on and so forth. Um, while we're waiting for some people to come into the room, I'll kind of go through a little history um, from what I know. I didn't really plan to do too much history, but I do know Ralph Lauren started off actually as a sales associate, I believe, at Brooks Brothers for a little while before working for a few different tie companies, and then he wind up designing his own ties in I want to say 67, and that's when he got his basically his brand started. He sold a bunch of ties to I believe it was Bloomingdale's, and yeah, so a lot of times on the polo pieces you'll see 67. That's why. um just for a real quick thing, if you have any questions, I'll try to catch them the best I can. So if you get any questions, capitalize question marks, and I'll try to answer them at the end of the show because I'm going to go into screen shares a little bit here. It's going to be a little complicated to keep up with the chat, but I should be okay with that. Um, so with that being said, probably the biggest, let me see here. Um, yeah, so you have the umbrella of Ralph Lauren brands. And like I said, he got his start. Its company started in 1967. And under that brand, I kind of had to write them down because there was so many different, and I might have missed one or two. That's how many different brands there is. Um, I mean, and I'm gonna go kind of go in order from lowest end to highest end. And I'm gonna show you tags in a little bit, get into a screen share and show you some different things. But their lowest level is kind of the Lauren by Ralph Lauren, and that's not actually even made by them. Most people call it the green label. It's actually um, it's not even licensed off because they actually lost the rights to that in a court battle to Jones of New York Apparel Group, and basically it's clothes made through Jones of New York, but they do have the Ralph Lauren label on. But it's a very poor quality, a lot of it. It's sold at the lower end department stores like Macy's and so on and so forth like that. And then you kind of have Denim and Supply is kind of there for younger kids, college area students, and it's kind of lower end, but they do have some pieces that actually sell pretty decently. Um, then you have the Rugby line, Ralph Lauren Rugby, that kind of lasted, I think, from 2004 to 2013. It's actually discontinued. That was a lower end. Polo shirts were like $60, so on and so forth, new. Um, then you have some polo lines that are just not even in existence anymore, like Polo Jean Company. That was for a while. Then you had Polo University. Mainly, you'll see those in sport coats and suits. They're not really all that Great. um, Polo golf wear. You have Ralph Lauren X, which is their RLX, their sports performance line. And then you kind of get into the better line. You have Polo Ralph Lauren, which is their main line. That's the one we run across probably most frequently. And some pieces can go for very good money, and they do have some suit jackets that are made in Italy, and they're made by the brand, actually by the company Cornelius. I believe it's Corneani. They make a lot of their sport coats and suits that they're made in Italy, and it's a more of a higher end suit brand. Polo Ralph Lauren clothes can go for actually pretty good money, even used. Then it's kind of a mixed bag, Polo Ralph Lauren, though, because you get some really good stuff, but then you get some stuff that's, and then you got the double R Ralph Lauren, which is kind of like it's almost like very heavily Western style of clothing, like button pearl snap shirts and the Indian design stuff and stuff like that. It's a little bit a step above. It's kind of a little more better quality. And then of course, you got the purple label Ralph Lauren. I mean, you got the black label first, and then you got the purple label, which is their top of the line brand, and where the most money is. And then with the women's, it's a lot of their clothing will be called purple label collection. It'll be just like purple Ralph Lauren and then collection under it, and it's a purple label. And then you also got Ralph by Ralph Lauren, which is licensed to Dillard's. Kind of like the Lauren by Ralph Lauren thing. It's not bad quality, but it's not overly great. All right, let me see here. Let me jump into a screen share real quick and go to our first one right here. And this is a purple label, right? I mean, this is basically your common Lauren by Ralph Lauren label. A majority of the time, if I see this label, unless it's newer tags, I'm leaving it alone. There's just not enough money really in this brand. It's poor quality. If it's secondhand, I'm not picking it up. I really just don't think there's enough money into it. Then you have, these are some of the Polo Jeans company stuff. I kind of look to see, and some pieces do okay, as you can see here. Like a lot of the Ralph Lauren shirts, anytime you find a flag or anything different and loud, they actually good for good money. Those are some crazy looking pants. But wow. Those are crazy right there. I'm not sure how many people can carry those away with. That is something. But you can see where some of that stuff goes for actually good money. This is probably, I would say.
You're not screen sharing, Ronnie.
All right, let me see. I got to try this again. I just look back and it's not working. All right, let's see here. Try this again. All right, let me know if you see this. So here we go. This is the Let's start again. This is Lauren by Ralph Lauren. This is not even made by them. It's kind of their lower level line. Like I said, it's not even made by them. I really would not pick these up unless they were new with tags, so on and so forth. Polo Jean Company, I was looking up some of their stuff right here, and they have some interesting clothes that were in that line. Some actually do pretty well. As you see right here, those pants are pretty freaking crazy looking. But some of the stuff goes pretty well. Those pants again. Anytime you see anything like this, Ralph Lauren wise, it's gonna bring you some money. And flag stuff always brings money. A lot of the knit chunky sweaters do really well. And then here we go. This is the Ralph by Ralph Lauren label. You'll see sometimes these labels are a dark blue or even a black. And I've seen a lot of people will call this a black label. And it's just people are misunderstood, or they don't really know what they have, and they just assume by the color of the label that it is black label. And it says Ralph Lauren. It is actually, this is a line made for Dillard's, and it's not even made by Ralph Lauren. Denim and Supply Company, you see right here, this is the tag. There is some stuff in that line that actually does fairly well, but more loud, more outrageous stuff. This is the Ralph Lauren X brand, basically their outfit or their outdoor sports Sparrow line. You see right here, some of the jackets, these are all used prices, actually go for pretty good money. Just going through, you know, so if you come across this line, this is actually a pretty decent line. This actually sells pretty well every time I pick them up. They actually do fairly well for me. Like I was saying earlier, there's the Polo line, and it's made by this brand. Their suits, they're made in England, and we'll go down here to, and you can see these get a very good, much more money than your regular Polo Ralph Lauren. Brand. I'm trying to get a good picture of the tag. You see right here how this Polo Ralph Lauren label on the inside. The tag will look like this. And keep this tag in mind right here. And of course, it will be made in Italy. If it's not made in Italy, it's not made by that company. And here's a Cornelius suit that I have listed that is new with tags, and you can see the tag. And if we go back here, you see the tag. So you see it's the same company, same tag. So if you find that, it's going to go for actually pretty good money. Go quickly and look up the double R Ralph Lauren. I forgot to put that one because this is a tag that looks a little different when you see it. And some of their pieces can actually go for very good money. As you can see right there what the label looks like. They'll have double R's. They'll be facing each other. And that's basically what that one looks like. It's actually, I've come across this brand here and there, but it's this line is actually harder to come by. Let me see here. All right, we'll stay here. This is the regular polo by Ralph Lauren. And as you can see here, there are some pieces that go for extremely high money, but they have to be certain pieces. This sweater right here, see the same sweater, sold both times over $2,000. I know $2,000 can pay a lot of people's bills. Anytime you see the polo bear, it's a very good pickup. And then they got a lot of different and cool shirts. Football one right here. Sometimes they do a lot better on auction. This might be one of the times you actually decide and think about doing an auction. Snow Beach was their line for their 25th anniversary, 1992 and 1993. They had a lot of different collections that actually did very well and are very sought after. Here's another one here with the flags and everything. That's actually a very sought after shirt. Has the Indian head. Here you got the P wings, they call this right here. There's a lot of certain names that go with a lot of these different collections or different things like the P wing and so on and so forth. Another one of that football shirt right here, ski jacket. I mean, jacket's $900. Go through here real quick. The Suicide Skier. Actually, this shirt, I've actually seen two other resellers that I know of, Max and Treasure Coast Picker, both found this shirt, and they both, I believe, got over $500 for that shirt. I mean, that right there is a shirt I've been on the lookout for. A lot of these stuff, I would be very hard pressed if I came across it this sell. As you see right here, it's just a lot of this stuff goes for good money. I can't think of his name. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't remember. Your Las Vegas boy. He sold a T-shirt, Ralph Lauren T-shirt that had like runners on it, and it sold for $500. I mean, it's crazy what some of these shirts will sell for. As you see right here, 500. Just going through, I found actually a jacket similar to that, and it had holes in it, and I still got like $200 for it. So sometimes even this stuff floored, if it's high enough stuff, will actually sell very well, as you see. Moving along, this is the Ralph Lauren Black Label. And it's just a black label. The letter has like a block letter writing to it, and that's it. These pieces, some are made in Italy, some are made in America, some are made in China. They're kind of not made in a lot of, you'll find them made everywhere. So, don't be surprised and don't be, hey, is this a fake? That's what it looks like. Purple label. Show you what that looks like. This is a one that a lot of people have problems with for whatever reason. I've never come across any purple label or black label stuff. It's always the original polo label that you'll see faked every once in a while. But this is a polo Ralph Lauren purple label. Sometimes they're made in Italy, but I've seen made in England. I've seen made in Slovakia. I've seen them made in some other countries. I've even seen a leather jacket that was made in China. So don't think that it has to be made in Italy, but a lot of their pieces are. And a lot of their sport coats and suit jackets are made in England. But for whatever reason, the polo shirts, they have the tag on the collar like that. I'm not exactly sure why that is. It's higher up on the collar. I've seen it. I've sold this shirt a bunch of times in the past few years. They don't get the huge amount of money. You'll get $30 to $50 for them for the polo shirts. If you get into the leather jackets and the sport coats, the suits, that's where the good money is. And I pulled up some shirts right here and clothing from Google. And you can see a lot of these pieces are just crazy. Like this piece right here. This is a cool piece. I would love to have this piece. And I don't know who you are, but we're gonna back up. But I'd love that piece. That's a cool piece. Find something like that. This is a piece right here. This goes for good money. I've seen them in the past sell for very good money. Like I said before, in the past, the bear. Anytime you see any jackets, spell outs called right here. Anytime you see it spelled out, Polo Sport definitely was another line that they had. I forgot about. This is probably like the Holy Grail piece right here. Snow Beach. This is actually in a video with the Wu-Tang Clan, and one right here, as you see. If you all want to later on, you can go and see the Wu-Tang Clan. Can it all be simple? And you could actually see Raekwon, the chef, or what's his name, or whatever, with the jacket on. And this piece right here, I've seen sell between $1,000 and $3,000 on eBay. Crazy that a piece could sell for that much money. We don't want to go X out of there. I mean, some of these stuffs are very hard to come by. I've not come across a lot of this stuff, and I've been doing this 4 years now. I mean, and I hit a lot of thrift stores. I've only come across one bear sweater, a few bear t-shirts, but this stuff is hard to come by. Some of the caps can sell for outrageous amount of money. I mean, it's just unreal what some of this stuff goes for. Right here, we'll go to sold. I mean, here's a few caps right here. $300 for a cap. Some of these blue ones right here, $250, and so on and so forth. So I mean, you can see even just getting a cap, you can get some crazy money. That one's pretty cool right there, or that one. But then I'll go back over here. See some of the different things, different shirts. That would be a pretty cool shirt to find. I mean, there's a lot of money here in these shirts, some of these. Anytime you find the P-Wings, like I said before. Let me go back and get out of this real quick. Okay. Stop. All right, I hope I wasn't too confusing or anything there. I know at one time I got a little confused with everything. Let me go here. I'll be with you in 1 second. All right. All right, let me go here. And a little hard when you do this by yourself sometimes. Bear with me, please. All right, I got some questions over here. I'm gonna get to them right now. All right, Coco Chanel, Ronnie, I hope you told you're a little. I I have not really talked to Chad too much today. Oh, Chaps. Violet Lemon Chaps was a was licensed. Chaps is a standalone brand. I'm not even sure if it's under Ralph Lauren. If anything, that's kind of the bottom again. I believe for a while there it was only sold at Kohl's. Um, Anybody can correct me with that one. Um, but Chaps is, I'm not really sure if they were ever owned by Ralph Lauren or if they were just like a brand that was leased out to other manufacturers. Yes, Ralph Lauren bed sheets and comforters and stuff like that are very good money makers. Actually, Golden Finger Picker found some of them. Even their towels can be worth money. I believe he found some towels too. If anybody has any questions, question mark, right now would be a good time. I could actually, I'm not sure if I missed anything while I was being away. All right, Suzanne Hutchins. How much is the Ralph Lauren Black Fit Classic Fit Black Label button front shirt worth approximately? If it's used and it's in good condition, I'm gonna say probably in the 35 to 50 range for a button front. It's gonna be in that range. You might get a little more, might get a little less. Depends if it's a little bigger, like an extra large or something like that. You might do a little better. Um, Another question about the big label pony, the big ponies. They actually sell a little better than the others. You'll get 25 to 35 for one of those usually pretty easily. And you could get it's more desirable than the little small pony polo shirts. Ralph Lauren Rugby, I think I covered that one. Ralph Lauren Rugby it was a brand by Ralph Lauren. It was kind of more of a lower end line they had. I think it's been replaced by the Denim and Supply line, and I think it ran from 2004 to 2013. They discontinued that line actually. Um, all right. Do you have any other questions? How did you like this kind of show? I mean, did this help? Was this any good? Let me know now. I kind of maybe went a little quicker than I wanted to. First time trying to explain something, I might have went a little too quick out the gate. Um, Not 100% sure, but like anything, you do it a few different times, you do get to learn. This is probably the hardest brand to probably deal with, just because it's a huge umbrella of so many different brands, and it's kind of hard to find. Like I know for myself, I kind of don't mess with a lot of it. Some of the Polo Ralph Lauren stuff I will get double R Ralph Lauren when I find it. Black label, purple label, I always get. Um, what else? Polo Jeans Company. Depending on the pattern and it's a sweater, it's kind of really nice. I've never had luck with a lot of the lower end stuff, and I think it's more because it's a saturation. There's so much of it. It has to be one of the probably the most popular brands, if not the world. And everybody gets it. It's sold everywhere. It's not like you can't. You go into any Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, Macy's. It's at any major department store. I mean, mall department store like Macy's, Dillard's, that kind of thing. Question: do you lower prices if items don't sell, or do you sit on it? It all depends on the item. Let's say it's a hard to find. Let's say I find that snow beach jacket, and it's in excellent condition. Tell you the truth, I'm probably not going to want to sell it. But if I am, I'm going to wait to get 2,500, 3,000, and I'm probably going to have to wait for one of only a handful of buyers to come and to buy that jacket. And I'm going to wait, but for that jacket, I'm not going to lower the price. It might be up there a year. I'm going to wait the price of that jacket up. But let's say I have a Bugatti Umo shirt and it's been sitting for a year. Yes, I'm going to get rid of that because it's not moving. It's not, there's nothing to keep it. There's no reason to keep it because it's not really that high in demand. And I think it depends on how many are in the market, what time of year it is, what kind of item it is. But I'm trying to blow some stuff out now. I actually have 122 auctions ending tonight in about, what time is it? About another hour. So we'll see how that goes. Last I looked, only about a little more than 10% we're going to sell, but I haven't looked in a few hours. Do they make fake Ralph Lauren? Like most high-end brands, there are fakes out there. There are a lot of fake, the regular Ralph Lauren brand. You'll run across fakes every once and again, and it's just getting acquainted with the design of the tag. Always have the horse in the middle if it's Polo Ralph Lauren or Ralph Lauren. It's just to get an idea. I mean, you'll see it, but a lot of people get overwhelmed, and they're showing a picture of a polo shirt that they buy for $5 and they might get $15, maybe $20 tops, and it's overwhelming. And I would just stay away from it if you had that much doubt about it. Joe, Mr. Australian, hopping in on your kangaroo. You showed me the shirt the other day. I haven't found any. I've never found a shirt like that. He had actually a pretty cool shirt, Black Eye Joe, where you flip up the collar and it said Ralph Lauren on the inside of the collar. So if you're one of those cool kids, you could wear your collar up on your polo shirt. It would say Ralph Lauren. Is there money to made in polo shoes? Yes, there is. Polo shoes. The regular sneakers and stuff like that, I would not really chase after too much because you can find those at Marshalls, TJ Maxx for $30, $40, sometimes marked down for $20. I have a few that I bought for like $20. So I kind of stay away from those. But where the money is kind of is in the dress shoes, especially when you get into like the made in Italy or made in England polo dress shoes. A lot more higher quality, as the Polo Ralph Lauren ones that are made in actually England, and you'll see like a script. They'll say Ralph Lauren. It's in like a script design. They're actually made, I believe, by Edward Green, which is a great shoe sale. I've never found a pair of Edward Greens, but look up those shoes and you'll be surprised by the money they bring. But then if the shoe is in a block letter, the label, and it says Ralph Lauren, it's in a block letter, it's made in England, has to be made in England too. It's most likely made by Crockett and Jones. And I don't know who makes their ones that are made in Italy. I'm not really sure on that, but I do remember seeing that somewhere. So if you do find men's Ralph Lauren dress shoes and they're actually in a pretty good condition, pretty cheap price, I would probably buy them. I think you could get good money. I don't think I've ever come across any that I can think of. Yes, handbags and luggage can be good. My wife actually has some luggage that we picked up at a estate sale. Um, she loves it. Um, but I don't really come across it too often. I think I've sold a duffel bag once before. I mean, and we're talking like 4 or 5 years ago, going out and really hustling and looking for that stuff. Let me see, Joe. My son had a brand new pair of Clark Escalade shoes. They come with the truck when you buy one. Do you think Amazon would bring better money over eBay? Best I can see. I don't know. If you're gonna sell on Amazon, you have to be approved for shoes first. So if you're approved for shoes, they're brand new. Look them up. Look in the design. I'm not really sure. I've sold a. No, I don't think I've actually sold any shoes on Amazon. But easy just to search sold listings and see. But sometimes they do bring more money on Amazon. Sometimes they bring the same money, and if that's the case, I'm rather deal with eBay and deal with the transactions myself, as sometimes Amazon buyers can be more picky. Let me see. Millie, I've sold some Purple Label Ralph Lauren women's shoes. I think I've sold 1 or 2 pairs also. I did not get great money. I think I only got like 50, 60 bucks. No, Joe, you have to be approved to sell shoes on Amazon, even if you're a I guess you mean by private seller as a merchant. So because I think you have to be a store subscription to even get a chance to be um, what's the word I'm trying to look for here? Ungated in shoes. Righteous resell a rare color. I have no idea, dude, what you're talking about. Rare colors. Rare colors of what? I think you're a little late because I haven't seen you here all day, all night. All right, everybody, I'm gonna call this quits. I gotta get going. I got a busy day coming. I want to thank y'all for coming by and spending some little time with me. I actually dragged my wife into a video the other day, so if you go back and you could actually see it, and she was actually did the January update, sales update, and everything like that. And we have a few talking about some of the things we've sold. But I'll see y'all later. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe give me some ideas of some brands that you would look for in the future or like me to do. And hey, more likes I get, the more I know you like this stuff, and the more I'll continue to do it. But see you later. Bye bye.